learning to inspire. Loving is dope. Learning to grow and learning to hope. Let go of the past. Release the ropes.
Learning to love, yeah, yeah. Learning to love with April love. Learning to love, yeah, yeah. Learning to love with April love. Learning to love, yeah. Inspired by God, lifted in love, yeah. Learning to love, yeah, yeah. Motivated by self, lifted in love, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Learning to Love. I'm your host, April B. Love. Today's topic is a woman's mindset. I have a special guest on the show, Dr. C. I am so happy that you decided to come back and join us. So many people have asked me for you to come back on the show, so I am elated that you are here. Welcome. How are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And for those that have asked for me, just one person asking for me is amazing because that's all I need. I just need one. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it is. So you can just touch just one and that's enough.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm happy that you're back on the show. I did actually have a few that asked for you, and this is pretty much divine purpose because before I got a chance to reach out to you, you reached back out to me. So I am thankful that you are obedient.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right. I'm very obedient and consistent.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. So now I know many of our viewers are already familiar with you, but please just introduce yourself to those who aren't.
Okay, I would love to reintroduce myself and introduce myself to the viewers. I am Dr. Candace Elaine. I am a clinical psychologist based here in sunny California, which I love. I am also a transformational coach as well. And when I say transformational coach, not every woman or every man have a psychological disorder or any type of psychological issues. So I help with personal development, such as if they're stuck or they're just the mindset or they're just stuck in their way. But my practice, because I am in private practice, I am a clinical psychologist. So I deal a lot of my patients have anxiety, depression, PTSD, trauma, and therefore. So that is what I do on a daily basis. And I'm also in medical school. So I will be graduating soon. And I will also help in my community out here in California, in my Black and brown communities. I will be the go-to doctor for high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune disease, cholesterol, and all of those. So I will be teaching our people in the Black and brown communities how to take care of themselves from the inside out. So that is who I am. Yes.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. So today's topic is a woman's mindset. So Dr. C, tell us what mindset is and why does it matter?
Okay, great question. So the mindset, which everyone, we know, everybody has a mindset, and that is your personality. It has a lot to do with your personalities, your behaviors, how you think, and how you will just maneuver in the world. So your mindset, how you look at things, the perception of yourself, the perception of others, and the perception of things. So with that being said, especially when we're talking about women, your mindset, a lot of that have come from behavior such as childhood behavior, little girls. It is formed then, and it's up to us to either reparent or redevelop or change our mindset once we're adults. Because what was once for us when we were children is not for us when we are adult women. However, most of us tend to bring that same thinking with us in our adulthood. So I help a lot of women with that when it comes to going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Now just explain the differences between like a fixed mindset and a growth mindset.
Absolutely, of course. So I'll give it to you very briefly, what I call nutshell. So I'll give it to you in a nutshell. Nutshell is from a fixed mindset is I'll give you an example. I would never complete that. I could never finish that. I could never accomplish that. That's a fixed mindset. Someone that is just have that mindset of what they can never do. But they're looking at others like, oh, they're so lucky they can do that. It's nothing about luck. We're not casinos, people. We are human beings. We're not games, we're human beings. So it's not luck. The growth mindset, if you would like and want to learn how to switch that, instead of saying, I cannot, this may be difficult, but I'm going to try. That's something I've never done. I'm out of my comfort zone. I have fear, but I'm going to try anyway. So that fixed mindset is I can't. That growth mindset, I don't know how. I have fear, but I'm going to try anyway. That's the difference. That's the difference, because they both have fear. They both are stuck, but one just say, I'm going to move. I'm going to do it anyway. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And I know a lot of individuals with a fixed mindset tend to not really appreciate the success of others as well. That's one of the things
Absolutely.
that, so they don't appreciate themselves and they don't want to do anything themselves, but they also don't like to congratulate you. And not that anyone needs anyone to approve, but, still yet they're not really happy for you.
That is absolutely correct. Most people that maneuver that way in life tend to treat people how they treat themselves. So if they're not moving and you moving, of course, it's going to be a problem because they're not used to it. So, and it goes back to someone saying, I'm always broke. I don't never have money. Well, if you have that mindset and you keep speaking that, then you won't have no money. That is how the brain works. That is exactly how the brain works. What we put out there, we tend to get back. If you believe you cannot, then you can't. If you believe that. But most likely, if you believe you can, you can. That's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about your way of thinking. So,
yes, and your words.
yeah.
Absolutely. Your way of thinking, your words, and behavior. And it goes hand to hand with your thoughts, because first there is a thought. Then behind that thought is an emotion. With that emotion becomes memory. And then that memory, you're just stuck with that. So every time that thought and that emotion, whatever it may be, it can be in different circumstances, you attach that memory to it. And that's when that thought come in, and that fear and that comfort zone, and you don't want to move. And now you're living your life in that fixed mindset, which is normally the survivor mindset. And that's a hard way to live in the survivor mode all the time, which us clinicians call the fight and flight response. You don't want to live in that mindset all the time.
Break that down just a bit.
Okay. For instance, like I said, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. The brain takes a photo. The brain takes a photo picture of what goes on, different circumstances, different situations we are in. And every time we come across rather something that is familiar to that situation, it can be a smell, a scent, someone that looks like, it can be anything that is familiar with something that may have put you in the flight and fight situation where you just stagnant and you can't do anything. And that's the fixed mindset. And you go back to that memory. You'll go back to that. And when I said that you will live in that all the time, that's when you cannot move. It becomes part of your personality. It becomes part of your mindset. Again, like I stated earlier, your mindset that's your personality. Can it be changed? Absolutely. It can definitely be changed. It's a process. It takes work. There are certain steps, and it takes a lot of work, but it's doable. It's doable. It really is. So what happens is with that photograph that the brain takes, that memory, it just like, no, I remember that. That is familiar to me. So I'm afraid of that. And you won't move. And you just self-sabotaging behavior, low self-esteem, all those things comes with that as well.
Wow. Yeah. And so it just kind of described like the mental abyss.
Okay. Mental abyss to me and to other clinicians that I have spoke to, other coworkers, that it is confusion. When you're in just a mental abyss, when you're just confused about where you need to be. Again, I stated before when I was on the show before, everyone has mental health. Not everyone has a mental illness. And mental abyss is when you don't know where you need to be. You don't even know how you feel. You're numb. Some are numb. Some are just going through the changes. Again, some are just living in survival mode, and they're just trying to just make it. They're waking up doing the same thing, different shovel. That's it. That's it. And you're just in a mental abyss with yourself, with that confusion. You don't know where you need to be or where you feel someone needs to place you. You don't know. You just live in flight and flight. Like I stated, that survivor syndrome, that survivor, I'm just surviving. And like I stated, that's a hard way to live, just surviving. We weren't just put here just to survive. Everyone was given a purpose and a passion. And you have to take time for yourself to find out what is that purpose? What is that passion? And my suggestion to everyone that will be viewing this is to get into you and to find out, get into your mind. It takes more than saying, well, I like doing hair and I like doing this. We got to go a little deeper. That's only staying at the shallow surface of things that you may want to do. But I'm saying, let's get into the mental part. So that's what that mental abyss, when you have that confusion, where you have that disconnect with self. You're not connected to self. That's it in a nutshell. You're not connected to self. You have lost your way, or you're slowly losing your way. That is mental abyss.
And so many are caught up in mental abyss and don't even realize it,
Absolutely.
And that repetitive behavior and being okay and being comfortable doing the same exact things. Everyone is not meant to be an entrepreneur.
That's right.
But if you're in the same position, like at your job, and that's all you're used to doing, you're not trying to move up, you don't even want to do a lateral move. You're just there, just speaking in terms of just at work, but it is definitely all about your mindset and making sure that you're able to be able to lift yourself up, so we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to speak more about getting out of that fixed mindset and moving more so to a growth mindset. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. This is the Learning to Love show. I'm your host, April B. Love. I have a special guest on the show. Her name is Dr. C. That is Dr. Candace Elaine. And we're actually talking about a woman's mindset. And in general, just a mindset in general, right? Between growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So we're going to just pick right up where we left off. And so Dr. C, we just talked about like mental abyss, right? So just kind of explain how your beliefs play a vital role in like goal attainment and just your overall success.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Great question. Now, beliefs are very important to everyone. Whether they're negative beliefs, it's still a belief, whether there's a positive belief. But whatever belief that you have, it kind of sticks with you. A lot of beliefs are placed upon us, such as, I always revert back to this, maybe this is a therapist in me, but a lot of our beliefs were put upon us from our caregivers, such as our parents or our grandparents or whomever raised us. So sometimes we grow up with their beliefs, the beliefs that you had in your household as a child. Also, you have beliefs when you become an adult woman or adult male. You start to establish incorporate different beliefs into your life. Now, those beliefs, like I stated in the beginning, some can be negative, some can be positive. However, they shape your decision making, because if you believe in something, you tend to go off that. Not always. And let me take a little deep dive. Sometimes you can have cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you believe one thing, but your action says another. Okay. Such as the cigarette smoker. Let's just talk about that, for instance. If you have a person that smokes cigarettes and they're sitting up there and they have the cigarette and they're smoking like maybe 2 packs a day, and they're saying, I know these cigarettes are bad for me, and they believe one thing, but their action is another. And people, 98% of people, statistics have shown, and it's probably 98.9 now, probably higher than that, that someone and all of us have battled with cognitive dissonance, including myself, where, like I stated, you can believe one thing, but do another. Those are beliefs as well. So you have some where just hold on to their beliefs. Then you have some with cognitive dissonance. Again, who we are, our character comes out in our beliefs, and also our decision making. So let's talk about women for a little bit for the sake of this. How women and their beliefs. We can believe one thing. We can be in a relationship. We can be in a romantic relationship, for instance, and we can believe one thing about our partner, but we still tend to stay. You see that consonant dissonance. I've had that. I'm not ashamed to say it, April, over 100 times, where you know one thing, but you tend to stay. Absolutely. So, with your beliefs, it's okay. I want the viewers to know to re-examine your beliefs. You can grow up with some beliefs. You could have established and incorporate different beliefs in your life. It's okay to re-examine your beliefs and regroup, get rid of some, keep some, and incorporate some new ones. It's okay to do that because, again, beliefs will shape who you are today and your decision making, whether it's cognitive dissonance, what we talked about, or whether it's something you just like, no, I believe this and this is how it is. I want to say sometimes our beliefs are not real. They're not true. They're not. Sometimes we can believe something and what's on the other side of that, we're in denial. It's really not what it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes our beliefs, which I talk about in my class as well, lie to us. So the question is our belief lying to us or are we lying to us because we carry the belief?
Yeah.
So that's the question that I could answer. I think we lie to us because we carry that belief.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, we are all raised a certain way, but you still have to kind of develop your own beliefs. And then sometimes you just think of things and saying, oh my gosh, why do I do this a particular way? Wouldn't it be better if I do it this way? So, and that's just with something, just in general. But, and then as you mentioned, also like in relationships, you think one thing, but actually it's a toxic relationship and you're thinking, your mind, you're saying it's going to get better or something like that, but it may not necessarily get better. It's actually getting worse. So, great. Now you have this program and it's called Weeds. So tell us a bit about your program.
Yes, I'm so excited to share my program with you today, April. I really am. It is called WEEDS, and it stands for Women Who Elevate and Eliminate Limiting Beliefs Are Determined to Succeed. And the reason why I named it Weeds, because you are planting seeds. You are starting over. If you decide to take this program, you are starting over. You are reprogramming your mind, the way you think, the way you operate in life. And when you change your mind, you change your life, especially when you change it for the better. So it's an amazing program. I am so happy. It is a 6-week online, go at your own pace. So whomever purchased it and get my program, you're able to go at your own pace. Every week you will receive a lesson every week, like because it's 6 lessons and you can apply them to your life. They come with steps and tools and tips, and it's an amazing program. I have been doing the program myself for some years, and now I put it out there in the world because I said, okay, you got to be your guinea pig. You got to be your first. Let's see if this works. So I put it out there for myself and I did it, and it's an amazing program. And it shows women how to get out of their own way, how to change their mindset. And no one here is wrong. Whoever, even myself, when I created the program and I started believing in my program and taking and doing the steps and implement it in my life, no one is wrong. I don't want anyone to take my program. They're like, oh, I messed up. I've been thinking this way for so long. It's okay. Know better, do better. Yeah. Know better, do better. Like we talked about earlier, we were raised with certain beliefs, and it's our responsibility to
Yeah.
check on ourselves, whether we have to regroup, reevaluate, re-examine, and reparent ourselves. A lot of times we have to do that, and that's okay. It's okay. It's our season, ladies. It's
Yeah.
our season to grow and to change our mindset. Because
Yeah.
when you change your mindset, the things you look at, they don't look the same. They don't. They
Mhm.
don't. Just like healed people hear different. And with a changed mindset, a person with a growth mindset does not see the same things that a person with a fixed mindset sees. It can
Yeah.
be the same thing, but they see two different things. And that's beautiful. And I think everybody owes that to themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. And then so and I know your course helps to walk someone through changing their mindset, right?
Yes.
And just kind of changing those beliefs. So um just kind of briefly just kind of explain what this will do for you. And so in terms of your everyday life.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. For instance, your everyday life, it would change, it would help you go from making rational decisions instead of emotional decisions. A lot of us, including myself as well, until I had to elevate, we tend to, especially as women, make more emotional decisions than rational decisions. We'll come to rationale. Now, we always get there, ladies. Come on now, we can do this. We always get to the rationale. We get to the rational part, but we tend to go off of the emotional. But my course would teach you, hey, everything that shine ain't gold.
Mm.
And sometimes, and most of the time, 90% of the time, let's think rational. Let's look at all avenues of it. So my course will teach a woman how to do more of the rational than the emotional. I don't take the emotional out. We need that. We're soft. You got to handle us very softly. So I get that. However, making more rational decisions will set you up better for your life. So my course teach you that as well. My course teach you also how to handle yourself and set boundaries, because when you have boundaries, because boundaries start within, when you have implemented boundaries in your life, you won't accept nothing less for anyone else, nothing less. So it teaches you about boundaries. It teaches you about setting rational and making rational decisions. It teaches you how to take baby steps and break down, especially with goal setting, break them down into micro steps. Slow moving
Mm.
is still moving. I
Okay.
teach you that. My course teaches you that, because everybody look at the result. So with my course, which is lesson one, it's called the process. I teach you how to focus on the process, not the result. Because when you tend to focus on the result, it causes a lot of anxiety, because you're too busy and you're too busy wondering and thinking, I just need to finish. I just need to finish. And then
Hmm.
you're all over the place. Hey, you done forgot the steps. Enjoy
Yeah,
the
enjoy the moment.
flow. Enjoy the moment. I teach you how to enjoy the moment in case you got to go back and do it again. You know the steps. But when you go back and try to do it again, you don't even know the steps because you never enjoyed it. You were too busy worried about the result. And when you worry about the result, it brings on anxiety. So it's an amazing course.
Awesome. That is great. And so, yeah, so what else would you like to share with us?
And I want everyone to know that you are responsible for your mental health. Take care of your mental health. Don't step into 2022, ladies, still wondering what's going on, even if you take baby steps. Again, slow moving is still moving.
Mm.
Take some time for yourself, invest in yourself, invest in your personal development. Take care of your physical health and your mental health, because the lashes and the hair and the clothes and the bags, it only lasts for a minute. But when you have taken care of yourself, when you are worked on yourself, and when you have yourself together from the inside out, no one can take that from you. You can
Right.
wear a bag and still look good, a paper bag and still look good when you have the inside together. So take
Mhm.
care of yourself. That is very important, and invest in your mental and physical health and your personal development. That is what I want everyone to know. And take your time. Show yourself some compassion. And again, slow moving is still moving. Don't rush.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again, Dr. C, for being a guest on the
Absolutely.
show. I truly appreciate you coming back. Again, I had some people wanted you to come back, so I really
Thank
appreciate you
you.
taking the time. And of course, we'll stay connected. So,
Okay. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. It is always my purpose and my pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. Well, to all of my viewers, thank you so much for staying tuned in today. Again, this is the Learning to Love show. I'm your host, April B. Love. Join me every Wednesday and next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Preach the Word Worldwide Network. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit aprilblove.com. Again, that is aprilblove.com. See you next week.